Hello, this is Arturelia Anime Room Reviews. I'm Arturo, and today I'll be reviewing Fullmetal Alchemist is a great series. The original, while most people prefer Brotherhood over the original, which I can understand, the original still is a great anime. And they made a sequel to the show, Fullmetal Alchemist, Conqueror of Shamballa. And I've got to say, is this film just as great as the original show itself? And I gotta say, after watching Fullmetal Alchemist the movie, the original was on Toonami when I recorded it, so that was my first taste of this film. But what do I think of it? This classic anime movie after the original show had concluded. Well, that's why you're here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Fullmetal Alchemist movie. Let's go.
The Fullmetal Alchemist!
The story is set after the show. Years have passed since then. However, we do get a past clip that was during the show itself, with Ed and Al facing off against a guy that has, I guess you could say, a nuclear device. However, though, after the show, Ed is trapped in our world, while his brother, Al, has trained to come and rescue him. However, things start to happen with both one enemy from their past, while the other in our world. And this group is the Thule Society. Leading them is a woman by the name of Excelente, if I even pronounce that right, along with a party that would plunge the world into a world war. Ed must stop them, while meeting versions of his friends from our world and a girl who could read people's minds by touching them, which she's a gypsy. Will they both survive? All the heroes from the original must come back one more time to stop a new threat. And obviously the soundtrack in this film is just as glorious as the original. It's kind of the same as the original, but you can tell there's a little bit of a difference. Overall, great music, great score in Fullmetal Alchemist. And obviously the animation is really nice and detailed. Very nice animation. You can tell there was so much detail put into it. Glorious. Now, we all know the original cast from Fullmetal. However, there are a few new additions. Al's counterpart in our world is someone trying to make rockets, and is alongside Ed, though he doesn't realize what he's actually making for this party. But it's mostly for the cause of Germany due to the Versailles Treaty. However, he has a heart, which in the end shows, to help Ed out. While the girl, Noah, is a gypsy who can touch someone and sees their past, or what they did. She is soft-spoken and only wants a home where she can live without discrimination. While she does accompany Ed after he saved her from being sold, she ends up doing something which is, no. But I won't go into more detail. Let's just say you're gonna see what she does. And the villain, or some villains, do appear again. But one is obviously the woman, Linda Eckhart, which she's actually based on a real person, which was a guy. And yeah, she works for the Thule Society and wants to go into Ed's world, which they call Shamballa. She's evil, but obviously she's a Nazi, but one who wants to destroy Ed's home or obtain weapons for the Nazi party. In general, that is most of the characters in this film. All the other characters is familiar faces that you know and love. Then you have some that are actually real people, because it's in our world in the early 1920s. As for my enjoyment for Conqueror of Shamballa, I really enjoyed it. I think it's just as good as the original show itself. It's a full conclusion to that version of Fullmetal Alchemist. And, I mean, I'm satisfied with it. It does leave an ending that's kind of, but it's not bad. I like the fact that they tied it into real world history and leading up to a big global war, which we all know. Obviously, I can say it's way better than
End of Evangelion.
And actually, this film was actually the first time I ever heard of this event that happened in Germany, the Munich event. where Hitler tried to basically overthrow the government. And yes, Hitler is in this film. But also seeing your beloved characters again face off enemies, like, well, taking on the Nazis and other threats. And yes, I believe you will enjoy this film just as much as I did if you're a Fullmetal Alchemist fan. I mean, what else is there to say about it? If you like history, this is also another interesting part of Fullmetal Alchemist.
I'm sorry. I realize I'm in no position to call you.
No, it's fine. But Al isn't here.
Really?
He was for a while.
Well, Fullmetal Alchemist, Conqueror of Shamballa. It was another great masterpiece of, like, the original. And, I mean, yeah, it's just as good. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great film. It concludes the series, well, the original one. And I like history. It's got historical things in it, mixed with supernatural stuff from Edward Elric's world. Yeah, I believe it's another great classic anime film based off of a famous show. I would definitely say try it out. Now, as for my recommendations for other Fullmetal Alchemist stuff, obviously there's Brotherhood, then there is also the Sacred Star of Milos. If you want more of the feel of the original, even though it's based off of, I guess, short light novels, there is the video games. But it still has that feel of the original Fullmetal, if you want to try those out. But other than that, that's about it. Well, this is Arturelia Anime Room Reviews, signing off.
We're sinking, we're sinking, we're sinking, we're
I
sinking!
know, I'm trying!
Faster, Al! Ah! Give me your head!
Hey, will you stop? Give that back!
Stop complaining! I gotta get the water out!
Well, then transmute something. You don't have to use my head.